Welcome. Hello. Oh, it's good to be with you. Today I was part of a Zoom call, and on it we started talking about time, about the future, about the past, and about the present moment. And someone who was on it was talking about how there are so many efforts, especially in popular culture today, to push aside the future and to, slam away the past, push aside the past, push aside all of it, and just focus on the present moment. And at first I was like, yeah, that's totally what I do in yoga. It's the best. But what they had to say really gave me pause. They were saying how what we're really invited to do by God is not to push these things away, the future and the past, but to give those up to God. That in forgiveness, the forgiveness that God gives us and the forgiveness that we give one another, the past is wiped away, taken care of, gone. And in trusting God in the salvation of Jesus Christ, the future is taken care of, not something we need to worry about, not something that can hurt us, not something that has power over us, just like the past has no power over us because of the power of forgiveness. And so instead, we are giving to God the future and the past rather than trying to shove them away or ignore them for a few minutes or just don't focus on them, because we can't ignore the future and the past or whatever, whichever side I've been doing that on. And that really struck me, that it's not so much about denying or ignoring the present, the future or the past, but it is in order to enjoy the present, but it is about knowing that our past is forgiven and that our future is secured. And then we are able to finally, only then, be truly present. Otherwise, we're living in denial of some way, denying the past, denying the future. So I offer that to us this evening, that some of the work that we're invited to do is the work of not ignoring the worries of the future, but reminding that voice in our head that's trying to tell us we ought to be worried about the future, that the future is not up to us, but we trust in the God who holds our future. Or the regrets of the past, the voices in our head, or at least in my head, that are telling me about the things that I've done wrong or the things I should have done differently or what I needed to do to have been right. I can tell those voices, you have no power. I am forgiven. So as we take a few moments to be present, to allow our minds to quiet down, allow ourselves to sit in a little stillness. If you notice that you start getting worried about the future, you can tell those voices that the truth is you don't have to worry. And you can tell any voices that are, or thoughts that are trying to make you regret the past, that you are forgiven. There's no weight that you need to carry from the past. And as we talked about a few videos ago, the only true thing that we have, the only place where we can experience God, is right now, this present moment. Let's take a few deep breaths together. Breathing into your belly, feeling your belly fill up, and then relax. And you're also breathing into your chest, all of it. Letting it all go. Let's try breathing into your belly first, then into your solar plexus, and then all the way up into your chest. Filled with breath. And then let it go. We'll do our cat and cow, our moving of our spine a little bit differently this evening. Be sitting down. I'll move back so you can see my whole body. We'll just shift your body over to the left. And then shift your ribs forward. Come over to the right. You might even feel this in your hips. And then begin to shift back, coming into what might be called a cat pose. Moving to the side again, which starts to get into these muscles over here, up to the front. Ooh, you can hear that in my hips. So this does that same concave and convex movement of our spine. It also stretches the sides of our spine. And after another, we're going to go around one more time this way, and then we'll reverse. Just to make sure we get all of the muscles. Then we'll do a few twists in a little bit too. We'll focus on our spine this evening. One of the really interesting things that I've noticed in my yoga practice, we did some warrior poses a few days ago. One of the things that I've noticed is that when I pay attention to where my torso and body are in a pose, or just even sitting on a normal day, I really get a read for how my spirit is. Here's what I mean. If I'm in let's move me up a little bit, shall we? If I'm in a low lunge, and I have my arms up, do you see where my body is? Maybe you can't totally see. Do you see how splayed forward my spine is, rather than straight up and down? I can still have it straight up and down and keep a big stretch in both my legs. I don't have to do this to have a stretch in my legs. I can. It's a different kind of stretch. But having my back flat instead of curved, having my weight over my hips rather than skewed forward or even skewed back, I could also be like this. It's a symbol sometimes, or a symptom of how we're approaching our lives, whether we might be pushing forward to the future, trying to focus on it so much, or whether we might be stuck in the past. I find it not just, now I have to stretch out this other side. You can join me in this low lunge. It's a good stretch for the front of your back leg, the leg that's down, especially if we're going to be focusing on keeping our backs straight. In keeping your back straight rather than opening up, that releases some of the tension here, which might be what you're looking for at some point. But what we're going to look at today is staying right in the present moment. Feeling that stability that stability in the present moment. Feeling that not being too far into the future or real stuck in the past. Finding the place of stability, of strength, of presence. Let's do that one more way. This one will be a little bit obvious because we'll lose our balance if we're too far forward or too far back. So you're going to bring, you'll need to see a little bit lower. We're going to come to kneeling, and this is gate pose. So you're going to put one foot out to the side and one knee bent on the floor. Inhale your left arm up to the sky if your right arm is out, and then exhale, start to bring it over to the right side, opening up that left side of your body. Inhale and exhale. You'll be able to notice here if you're too far forward or too far back. It'll strain your core a little bit too much. So you'll be able to find pretty easily that midpoint. And inhale back up to center. We'll go to the other side. Left leg just straight out from your body. Right arm up and then over. Oh, that side is very tight. And even in the midst of any tightness or tension, we're invited to breathe. Oh. We're invited to find the median, the present moment. Oh, beautiful. Coming back here. We'll move into this butterfly pose first. We've been doing this quite a bit. Maybe rock side to side to find a nice steady seat. Your spine nice and long and tall, centered. Then inhale your arms up to the sky. And exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand maybe behind your back. And begin your twist right here. You see how this is moving? And then bring it into the upper part of your body, to your rib cage. And then bring it into your shoulders. And then bring it into your neck. And maybe even your head. Take a few breaths here. If this isn't comfortable for your feet or legs, you could be in crisscross applesauce, like Charles says, or even with your legs out in front of you. This is all about your spine getting a nice twist. And then on your next exhale, release. And then as you feel ready, inhale your arms up to the sky and exhale the opposite way. Right hand to your left knee in whatever position feels comfortable for you. Left hand behind your back. And remember again, begin the twist down here in your belly and then move it up your spine, up your ribs, your shoulders, your neck, maybe even your head. Breathing deeply. Bring yourself back to center. Inhale and exhale. Let's do a little bit more hip opening. That's one place where it might be kind of difficult for your mind to stay in the present moment, but it's good to have just a little bit of a challenge. So this could be done on a chair or on the floor, whatever sounds good to you. So if you're sitting in a chair, feet on the ground, bring your right ankle to your left knee. And that may be all you do. Or maybe you flatten your back nice and long and start to lean out over your right leg. You want to keep your right foot flexed. See how it's all very active, which helps to protect your knee in this stretch. If you need more of a stretch, if you're down on the ground, you can bring that left knee in more to bring that leg up closer to your body. You might even put your arms around that leg, holding it, cradling it. If you'd like to, you can even grab that leg and move it back and forth, side to side, getting a little bit of mobility into that precious hip joint. Wherever you are, if you've been exploring some movement, bring yourself into stillness. And we'll take a few breaths here. When you have thoughts that come up, maybe about the past or about the future, remind yourself who holds them both. God. And as you feel ready, gently bring yourself out of that pose, and we'll do the other side. So you'll bring your left foot up to your right knee. And this one may feel very different. If you'd like, you may end up just like this. Or while you're sitting, you may just have a nice straight back. And that's all that you need for your stretch. If you want or need more, you may grab that leg, move it back and forth, rock and roll. And then after a few breaths, bring yourself into stillness. On your next exhale, release yourself out of that stretch, out of that pose. Bring yourself back to a neutral sitting position. And take a few breaths here. We'll do a little body scan meditation to end our time together. You can close your eyes or maybe drop your gaze down to just a few feet in front of you on the floor. You'll be turning your attention inward. We'll start at your seat, wherever it is that your body is in contact with the floor or your chair, feeling the weight of your precious, created, physical body. And perhaps this evening or whatever time of day this is, you're able to have some gratitude for the existence of your feet, all of the places that your feet take you, the skin and nails that cover your feet, the tendons and muscles that make up your feet, your ankles that move, that bend, and shock absorb. Moving your attention up to your shins and your calves. Maybe you can offer some gratitude to those strong muscles, joints, bones, blood vessels. Bring your attention to your knees. Offering gratitude for all of the work that they do to carry you, to help you walk, to power your movement. Bring your attention up to your thighs, those strong muscles, those big, long, strong bones. Grateful for the bones that make white blood cells, the living tissues that regenerate themselves without us even trying. Moving our attention up to our pelvis, the great bone that carries the hip sockets, that carries the sacrum, all of these important pieces that help us exist. The way our pelvis holds all of our internal organs. Moving our attention up to our spine, belly, abdomen. Maybe even noticing the way that any air or fabric feels on your skin around your belly right now. Moving your attention up to your rib cage and your chest, your upper back. Grateful for your breath, your lungs. Moving your attention up to your shoulders. Bringing your body scan, your attention, your gratitude down to your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, anything that you feel or notice or anything you're grateful for with these miraculous arms that flip and move, your wrists, all of the little joints and muscles and tiny bones that make up your hands, all the things that your fingers can do, how they serve you every moment of every day. Bringing your attention back up to your spine, noticing your shoulders connecting to your neck, noticing your collarbones and your throat, noticing the back of your neck, maybe where your hair starts to meet your skin. Bringing your attention up to your ears. Bringing your attention to your nose and your eyes. Bringing your attention to your scalp. Noticing any tingling, sensations, warmth, coldness. And then holding your whole body in your attention. Grateful for this vessel, this tool, this miracle of animated tissue. Take 3 breaths with me if you would. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Peace be with you.